So anyway, moving on back to what I was saying about is if you are actually going to grow your business and you're looking at creating an online presence and digitizing your company, you need to know what the terms of engagement should be, the mindset you need, and the decisions that you need to start coming to if you want to make sure that all your staff is still working for you and prioritizing you in a market where they could work for anybody instead. And to illustrate that, we've got quite an interesting video which should show you the whole thing from an employer's point of view. Take a look.
Despite being digital natives, fully 95% of Generation Z and 93% of millennials are having a tough time making the transition to the virtual work environment. I mean, let's face it, working from home is hard. So there are three critical things that we have to have. We have to have communication, processes, and culture. These are the three things that play out differently in a virtual environment versus an in-office environment. Starting with communication, communication is of critical importance. 75% of the US workforce today are stating that they feel less connected, where 60% feel like they're less informed. These numbers are significantly higher with Generation Z and millennials. And so this is counterintuitive because we believe that they're digital natives so that they would easily gravitate towards a digital environment. However, working from home is a totally different place to come from than being in the office and how they engage with other employees. So just in the office and moving that to home is not enough. So here are some solutions. Don't assume just because they're digital natives that they will immediately gravitate to a virtual environment because they're good with technology. The technology, again, doesn't have anything to do with it. What they really have to connect to is we must communicate well with them. We must let them know the importance of how they are connected to the company so that their contribution adds to the greater good, but they must also feel as though they're being informed. So uncover the issues, the things that are working well for them, the things that need some improvement, and then develop the meaningful solutions that will allow you to connect with them more efficiently and effectively, but then also inform them on the new directions that a project may be taking, the new directions of a company, shifts in strategy, and all of those things coming together to culminate in them in feeling as though their contribution is adding to the greater good. Processes are very important because they need to understand the project status and they need to understand all the information that is needed in order to be able to be the most effective to move a project forward and move the company forward in whatever it is that they happen to be working on. So be cautious of overusing video conferencing. I hear from a lot of people as I go through my walk that, I have been on 7 Zooms already today, or I've been on, 8 different conferences. And part of the frustration is that they're spending so much time in conferences and video conferences that they're not actually having enough time to get the actual work done and advance the project. So make sure there's purpose in every video meeting. Also, productivity is not completing the meeting. Productivity is ultimately completing the project or projects that any particular employee is working on. And then establish the expectations and the project check-ins so that every employee, no matter where they are in an in-person environment in the office or virtual, so that they can check in and understand and get any additional information that they need, status on projects, and continue to move those projects forward. Culture is critically important. We now live in a virtual world, and that's not changing anytime soon. And in that virtual world, we have to be able to transport our culture as an organization, not only to the in-person staff, but also to those working virtually so that they feel connected at every step. So understanding what issues are they dealing with, how are they dealing with them, helping them develop those solutions that will allow them to feel more connected and feel more informed about the company's direction. All of that plays to our culture. Ensure too that they have enough time to get the things done that they want to get done and need to get done in order to be able to move those projects forward. And let them know, hey, they're valued. They're an important part of our organization. The more they feel valued, the more they will contribute, and the more they feel supported, the more they'll be able to move forward effectively within the organization. The bottom line is that working online is significantly more than just a digital connection, especially for the younger generations. We have to embrace the fact that this is a whole new way of doing business.
You know what I was thinking? I mean, when I must have been 1994, it was the first time that I actually got the opportunity to work from home while being employed, and that they used to call it telecommuting. So we had 3 days of telecommuting opportunities per week. And it was really an awesome experience. But yeah, I definitely understand the fact that we were not having a culture. And I think for speakers, for trainers, for experts, this is a great opportunity that you can actually teach companies how they can work on a virtual environment and actually have still the culture of the virtual environment. I think this is an opportunity because I am sure that this is something that most managers must be suffering right now.
Well, I think it's a Wild West right now. We've got massive opportunity to shape the world in the way that we believe it should be. And like they said, and it's surprising that the digital natives, the generations who really do embrace being online, find it really difficult to not have access to people. And I think that that comes from the fact that we've been around people for our entire lives, almost like a battery. You've soaked in that many relationships and experiences. It's not essential. Plus also the age that we're at, I'm in lockdown with my beautiful wife, my daughter, and my dogs. So I've got the life that I chose to create around me all the time. So I'm really happy with that. If it was 10 years, 15 years ago, when I didn't have so much gray hair and possibly more happiness, I didn't have to get up and make somebody a coffee, I don't know if I would have experienced what we're going through right now with the same element of happiness, of just feeling stable. If I was looking like Dr. Yes, for a few relationships casually, then I might feel differently about the way that we're experiencing it. And like we've mentioned many times, you're still laughing. Like we've mentioned many times on this show, the second pandemic is going to be very much about mental and emotional health, because it is a real strain for people who are on their own. And I really do feel for you. However, Dr. Yes is available. Tinder, just check it out. Thanks for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you watch all the videos over here. There's 2 choices for you. Or, of course, I'm Dave Crane coming from Dubai.
And this is Ernesto Verdugo coming from Houston.
And I think we should send a message. Hold on.
What is this?
Subscribe.